forth, which includes the loan value of or the loan cost, that even $20 to $30 that your dealers would say, that makes a difference on what car they're going to buy, or in the case of somebody like me, whether or not I buy. And then, Mr. Bainwall, you indicated, and you correct me and jump in anywhere on this, but you indicated that TAR was going to add anywhere in average, and talking with a gentlelady from Tennessee, 1,500 to 6,000. So I quickly pulled out the internet loan calculator and figured 1,500 at 3%, which I think would be fairly reasonable in the middle if there's not some special deal. And that hits your number, 26, it comes back at $26.95, and that's right smack dab in the middle of the number where people start deciding they're going to get a different car or not buy at all. Am I accurate in those assessments that I've made, that some people are going to walk away completely from the new car and some people aren't going to, or are going to downsize?
I would say that the fundamental point you're making is that you have to do a whole car cost analysis. And we have a tendency in this town to look at policy from a silo. So today we're talking about CAFE. And we've kind of brought in ZEV because that introduces more cost than is related. But we also talk about things like V2V and an issue that Congresswoman Schakowsky talked about, the rear visibility. There's lots of things that go into the price of a car. They're great technologies that serve important social purposes, but at the end of the day, they cost money. And when you load them all up and you do the whole car cost analysis, you are creating a world in which it becomes harder and harder to purchase a new car. And with all due respect to my friends on the panel, that disproportionately hurts and locks out of new cars low-income Americans who then do not get the benefits of the safety technologies that have been introduced in the last 5–10 years.
Well, I mean, and let's face it, and I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this. I could afford the more expensive car. But if it's so much more expensive that I walk away from the market, I'm never selling the used car that Dr. Cooper wants me to sell to some low-income person at the end of 5 years or 6 years or 8 years, or even if I were able to and could, in my conscience, spend that much money on a car and buy it, I'm likely to drive it longer than the 5-year lifespan because I'm getting good service or good mileage out of it, and it's never going to be available, at least not mine. I understand I may not be typical, but it's never going to be available for the low-income person until the axle breaks and it's all falling apart and it's time to take it to the graveyard. I yield back.